Hello and welcome. This is a reading for the sign of Gemini. This is going to be Gemini, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. Anybody who has strong placements in the sign of Gemini, or anybody who strongly resonates with Gemini energy. If you just felt called to this reading and you're not sure why, then it is likely that there is also a message in here for you. So welcome. I invite everybody to take a moment to tap in, to take a deep breath in, let it out. Center into this moment, become present. If you so desire, there are healing codes and energies encoded within this video for you to receive. And if you resonate with the message, please like this video, please share, please subscribe. All of those things are deeply, deeply appreciated. So let's get into your reading, Gemini. I pulled a few oracle cards to start, and then we're going to get into the tarot and see what messages there are for you. So the first few cards that I pulled from the Conscious Spirit deck, for all those who enjoy collecting decks as I do, is Celebrate Life. So we had card 43, which breaks down to a 7. Then we also have At Day's End, card 40. And we have card 44, Integration. And I thought this was interesting. As I was looking at this card, I didn't read too much into them. I just took a quick peek as they came out when I shuffled them before the reading started. I noticed here there's a lot of shamanic symbolism on this card. You see the 4 directions. We've got the hummingbird, the eagle, the jaguar, and of course the wolf on this card. But it had that very shamanistic energy to it. So some of you may be studying shamanism, resonating with shamanism. You may be reading books. You may be taking part in ceremonies that are very much rooted and grounded in that energy. Or this could simply be a sign for anybody watching this that you might resonate with that. I'm feeling soul retrieval too. So I'm feeling as though somebody is taking a journey, perhaps into the underworld, perhaps with a guide, or there's some type of soul retrieval going on for you right now. If it's not something that you're consciously pursuing, then it's something that's just spontaneously and naturally happening for you, Gemini. So if you've been feeling a little bit out of sorts lately, if you've been just having different emotions or different emotional reactions to things, or you're just noticing like subtle changes in your preferences, or even like I'm getting like your sense of taste or your sense of smell, then what Spirit is saying is that you are integrating another piece of your soul right now. You have experienced a soul retrieval of some kind, and you're integrating that aspect of you into the totality of you within this experience. And so it's going to be shifting some things. It could be bringing some things up for you. Sometimes we need to go about healing the wounds and the traumas that piece of our soul experience that perhaps made it fracture off, or that aspect of us in a different timeline or lifetime or dimension. So sometimes it can bring things up like that. Sometimes it just shifts who we are a little bit, not because it's changing who we are, but because it's deepening who we are and bringing in other dimensions of our being, so to speak. So I hope that made sense. So yeah, you may be noticing some of those things. I'm feeling with this energy here, it looked like a candle to me in the center. It's not a candle, but it looked like one. So I'm getting this message and this energy about like light a candle. Light a candle for yourself, light a candle for that aspect of yourself, perhaps. It's almost like the candle will help with the alchemizing of the energies. If you're needing to heal and alchemize some energies, it'll help with the unification. And it's almost like, this is so interesting for those of you who this hasn't happened to yet, but this is in the process. It's almost like the candle lights the way home. So for some of you, this hasn't happened yet, but this integration is ongoing. And I don't know if it's like that piece of your soul is lost and it doesn't know how to find you, or what it is about, but it's like the light will guide them back home. So that phrase might have meaning to somebody. I'm not 100% sure why that's coming through, but that very specific phrase of guiding them home. Yeah, so take that as it resonates here. What else am I feeling from these? Really, like there's this call here as you're integrating, because remember we had the integration card. that you get lots of rest, that you take really good care of your body. Go out in nature, connect with nature as much as you can, because nature is going to be very healing for you in this process. And it was funny, like whenever I get this card, I think of like 40 days and 40 nights, because it's called A Day's End. And it's card number 40. So there may be some sort of like biblical reference there or something, or it may just be that you've had a long journey. Whatever it is, like this is for somebody who has specifically been working on healing something. You've had a long journey with whatever this is. And it's like you're finally ready to put this to rest, whether this is a habit, whether this is a belief system, some way of being that hasn't been serving you, whether this is a specific trauma or something that you've been working to heal. It's been a journey, but you're coming to the end of that journey now. And Spirit's saying now that like you've done enough work. Like I was talking about this with a friend of mine the other day, just this energy of how some people get so caught up in the shadow work that they're just constantly digging into themselves and like trying to find the root of this and the root of that and like digging up all these wounds. And that can become a very intellectualized process. And that is definitely something that Geminis are at greater risk for, being that you are mercurial, you are ruled by the planet Mercury. So you're very much a heady energy, right? That you're mutable air. So you can get caught in this trap, this where you're simply just analyzing and digging up these wounds and just going deeper and deeper, but nothing is ever, it's like you're stuck in that process. And so Spirit's saying you've done enough of that. It's time to rest. It's time to rest and integrate, particularly for those of you who are recalling that piece of your soul. And I think it was really interesting that on the bottom of the deck for this, we had a 27 card, which breaks down to a 9. And this is Spark of the Divine. And this is all about recognizing the divine spark within you. So once again, bringing that remembrance of more of who you are as you are gaining more of who you are. And under that, I felt like I wanted to mention this too. We have the sacral chakra here. So some of you may be working with that. You may be working with your sexual energy, your creative energy, or just healing that sacral energy. And we've had a lot of energy going on there in the solar plexus as we've been moving through just time and space recently. This is a timeless reading. So whenever you find it, if it's resonating, don't worry about the timing, but particularly in the timing that I'm recording this, there's been a lot of that, a lot of stomach stuff. I've been experiencing that too. So you may want to work with that sacral chakra more, is something that I'm feeling. Now for the Archangel Oracle deck, I also pulled a couple of these for you. We had Lady Gaia and Archangel Theliai. And Lady Gaia, this is all about, it is embracing that beautiful earth energy. So once again, those messages to connect with the earth, to connect with nature, particularly if you've been feeling ungrounded or unbalanced, that's really going to help to clear your head, being, once again, like we said, such a mercurial energy. You guys need to take that time, meditation, these types of things, anything that soothes your nervous system, working with the vagus nerve. That's been coming up a lot for me personally. That might be something that you want to look into as well. EFT tapping is a great way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of the fight or flight. They call it the rest and digest. And Mercury is getting ready to go into retrograde not long after I record this video. You guys may be feeling that as well right now. It's going retro in the sign of Sagittarius, your opposing sign. So it's going to be more activating for you than some, simply because of that. Like you may not always feel as of many of the retrogrades so intensely. This one you guys probably will. And we can tend to get tongue-tied as Mercury rules communication. So I think that's what's going on here. I think I'm picking up on that some of you may be really affected by the Mercury retrograde. So some of you guys are really feeling that already. I'm also feeling this is coming back to those challenges, right? We said you've been working through something for a really hard time or a really long time. Some of you guys might be having a really hard time, which is why that kind of came out like that, I think. So if you have been struggling, you've really felt like, it feels like some of you have felt like the weight of the world has been on your shoulders, in a sense, just that heaviness, that burden of something. You've also, I think some of you felt like you've been going through maybe a string of bad luck, or things just haven't been shaking out the way that you thought they would. And so I feel like a sense of frustration for some of my Geminis moving through this energy, and Spirit saying your challenges are lessons. And I know people get tired of hearing this, right? Because you're like, all right, well, what's the lesson? I'm looking for the lesson. Clearly, I can't figure it out because this shit is still happening. So like, that's where the meditation comes in, and the resting, and honestly, the stopping trying to figure it out. Sometimes when we stop trying to figure it out, the answer comes, and it's like so clear we can't believe that we missed it. So give your brain a break, give yourself a break, and just become open to the answer revealing itself to you in the appropriate time. And for now, it's just like, as you're being challenged by these things, look at, okay, so what could I learn from this? What could I take from this? What is like a little nugget that I didn't have before, a deeper understanding of myself? Always be looking for those things, like what everything is teaching you. And like I said, you don't have to go into a long-winded analysis of it. Just be open to those answers revealing themselves to you. Just employ that beautiful, curious mind that all of my Geminis have, and you may find the answers coming forward in, like I said, a more obvious way than you might have imagined. I'm also feeling, we got the animals card, and you had the animals with the 4 directions. So I'm feeling strongly the animal messengers. Pay attention to the animal spirit messengers around you right now, and spend time, if you have your own pets, spend time with those pets. If you've been thinking about getting a pet, for some of my Geminis, this is like the yes, that would be, there is an animal soul that is waiting for you. Clear. They say that our pets choose us. And these are our soulmates. And so there is an animal that is waiting for you, that is ready to become part of your family and to assist you as you're moving through this next chapter of your life. Animals are powerful transmuters of energy as well. They are magical creatures in disguise. They are so beautiful. And it's just, I'm feeling a very strong recommendation. If somebody's been on the fence about that, this is your emphatic yes surrounding that. And actually, before we jump into the tarot here, I know I have an animal deck. I haven't used it in a while. Let me see if I can find my animal deck here for you guys, and just see if there's an animal spirit particularly that wants to communicate with you right now. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, it's interesting. I was going to use one deck, but I'm feeling called to use this one, interestingly enough. So I have a couple. All right, so we're going to pull from this one. What animal spirit wants to communicate? Clear. Or has been communicating with my beautiful Geminis who are finding this reading. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be what kind of pet you need to get. All right, I'm just putting that out as a disclaimer. There's a lot of wild animals in this deck. But I'm going to see what messengers. And like, we don't necessarily have to see these animals in person for them to be messengers. We could notice a certain animal coming up in conversation, or coming up on TV a lot, coming up when we're scrolling through our phone. There could be a million ways that these animals are communicating with you. So we have the fox coming out, the raccoon, and the dragon. And I love that dragon energy. We all have our own personal dragon, sometimes more than one. It's the way that it was shown to me was it's almost like a twin flame energy, this dragon energy, like it's a piece of ourselves. It's very connected with who we are. And so your personal dragon could be reaching out to you, wanting to work with you. Also with the fox and the raccoon here, this is an interesting energy because they both have kind of this sly, sort of cunning energy to them. So there may be something with that. You need to employ more cunning. You need to employ more of this mischievous energy, perhaps. It's also like, watch out for that energy around you. If there's somebody around you who is perhaps not what they seem, I guess you could say, or that has ulterior motives. You just want to be aware for that, and you want to be looking out for that. This is also about stealth. These are very stealthy animals, the fox and the raccoon. So employing that stealth, employing that cunning in, of course, not like a manipulative way, because we never really endorse that. We try to move away from those energies, but something within that, which is interesting. And then we have the Panther on the bottom of the deck, and the Panther tends to be symbolic of the shadow work and the shadow journey, going into the shadow realms. So assisting you. I'm also feeling like assisting you with courage. And that's part of what the dragon's here to do for you as well. So if anybody watching this, you've been afraid, there's been something within your life, and you have been you've been lacking that courage, or you've needed that extra courage, that extra boost of confidence, or that feeling of safety. Like the Panther and the Dragon are here to assist you with that. And as I split the deck, I got the Swan as well. And that's a very strong twin flame energy. Your sign is the twins. Oh, there was the wolf and the turtle that I saw as I moved through there as well. Clear. So soulmate, some of you may have a question about love. Some of you may have something on your minds relating to that twin flame energy, or that love energy. Clear. Soulmate energy. So we'll see what happens when we pull the tarot here. We'll see what comes through. What deck do we want to use? All right, we're going to use this one. We're going to use the Tarot of Dreams. Clear. Some of you may be having interesting dreams lately, I'm feeling as well. And this would make sense particularly for those of you who resonated with integrating a fractal of your soul, or that soul retrieval energy. So what does Gemini need to know and understand? What do you want to bring more detail to regarding what we've talked about, or anything else, Spirit? Oh, and Spirit just showed me something as I was asking that too. It's the card on the bottom of the angel deck. It's Archangel Samael, and it says, choose harmonious responses and act with wisdom and grace. And so this, I feel, is also connected to the energy of the fox and the raccoon. And it's saying, like, if there is somebody in your reality who is behaving in an underhanded manner, don't stoop to that level. Ensure that you are showing up with integrity in all of your dealings with others, and allow that to be what it is. As long as you are in integrity and you are holding strong boundaries, like, you don't allow somebody to, like, pull you down to their level, or don't feel like you have to fight manipulation with manipulation, that kind of an energy. And if somebody is really triggering you currently, just try to be as gentle and just try not to play into that energy, I guess we could say. If you need help with that, call on Archangel Samael. All right, so now we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. So hard at work on something here. For some of my Geminis, and we have the Lovers, that's your card on the bottom of the deck. So interesting that the Swan card reminded me of the Lovers card. So I think that's interesting that came out too, but it was in reverse. So we'll get to that in a second. But with this here, I'm feeling like you put a lot of time and work into something. For some of you, this is more career related, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And you've realized that you need a little more. Like, you either have to, maybe you feel like you've put a certain amount of effort into this, but there's still more effort that needs to be exerted. Or there's like one more thing, another thing that you need to learn, another certification you need to get, something else that you need to do in order to be successful with what you're doing. And I feel like some of you are kind of frustrated right now because you're like, I've put so much time, energy, perhaps money into this. And like, there's still more that I need to learn. There's still more, like, when is it going to end? Kind of an energy. Like, when am I going to be up to the standard that either I'm setting for myself or others have set for me within this, especially if it's like a profession or something. For some of you guys, this is just a frustration around your own healing journey and feeling like, when does the work end? And that's where that rest energy comes in. But Spirit's saying, don't look at it as like, haven't I like earned this yet? And have that like frustrated, resentful kind of an energy. Look at it like, I get to learn something more now. I get to deepen my knowledge. I get to continue to refine my craft. Yeah, for some people, that's what it's about. It's continuing to refine your craft. It's all practice. I mean, trust me, you guys, I know. I mean, I've been at this with this YouTube channel for over 4 years now. And it's a constant process of refinement. It's all practice, right? You just keep going, keep doing it. You're going to get better and better at what you do. That is how you develop mastery. So for some of you, it's like that mastery is being called for. This is like Saturn energy here too. Oh yeah, this is Saturn and Taurus too. That's funny. Some of you might have Taurus placements. We got Sun and Virgo here, but it could also just be that energy of like, Saturn requires mastery. Wherever you have Saturn in your chart, that's where you have to work extra hard at something to really become a master of that energy. And it might take more time than it might take for other people, which can be frustrating. I just referenced like myself in this YouTube channel. I have Saturn in the 5th house. That's the house of creativity, fun, pleasure, children. It's a real fun place to have Saturn. So like I said, some of you guys might want to take a look at your natal chart to understand if you have transits going on with Saturn, if your natal Saturn is being impacted by something, or even just where your natal Saturn is. There's 7 pentacles here and 8. So somebody might have Saturn in the 7th house or the 8th house. So 7th house would be partnerships, contracts, business partnerships, marriage, and those types of partnerships. And the 8th house is the Scorpio, Pluto house of transformation, death, rebirth, the occult, all of the secrets and the traumas and crises and all of these intense energies. So if you got Saturn there, like God bless you. We have Saturn natally in Pisces right now. So if any of you have planets in Pisces, you might have Saturn impacting your Pisces and whatever house you have that in. But it's like you're being asked to develop mastery. You are going to be so goddamn good at what you do by the time that you get the reward and the recognition for it that you are desiring. So just keep at it, keep going. And if there's more you need to learn, then learn more. You guys, Geminis, like we said, you're that mercurial energy. Your mind is your greatest asset or your greatest hindrance, depending on how you use it. But you guys like to learn, you like to grow. So just call upon that natural curiosity I think we talked about earlier as well. Oh, interesting. We got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here. So these are divine counterparts. So there's definitely a soulmate energy in here for somebody. We had the Swan card. We saw the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. And now we have counterparts with the King and Queen of Pentacles. We also have the Devil on the bottom of the deck, interestingly enough. Let's read a little bit more into this. This will be sort of the closing energy here. Let's delve into this King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles energy, the soulmate energy, whatever we got going on here. Could be a situationship that I'm picking up on here, or I don't know. Let's get some more cards here because we have the Lovers in reverse. So this could be not making a choice or a decision around love. Like maybe there's a choice or a decision that needs to be made and you're just having trouble pulling the trigger or doing what you need to do. So we got the 5 of Cups here, Mars and Scorpio. And then we have the 2. Yeah, there's a decision. There's a choice here, you guys. And I feel like I'm picking up on that energy of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like you have 2 options and neither one of them is a good option. And somebody's going to get hurt or feel left out on the cold no matter what happens. Or perhaps they already have. And this is what needs to be addressed. Let's see what else we have. Tell me about these choices or tell me about the situation here that we're picking up on. There, for some of my Geminis here, this is just the choice to let love in. And it was 2424 when I said that on the time. This is just the choice to let love in. So for some of you guys, it's the heartbreak or the pain of the past or the fear of being hurt again that is causing you to not want to take a chance, to not want to take action. For some of you, there is somebody who was hurt or somebody that will be hurt by your choice or decision here. Let's get a little more energy on that. We got the Ace of Wands and the 5 of Wands here. I feel like there's going to be a fight here. A fight for, like you're going to have to fight for what you want, Gemini. Like defend your position. We have the Moon and the Knight of Swords. So it's like wanting to take action, but not being clear on what the action is, or just like being afraid to do it. There's a lot of confusion here, or not seeing something clearly, or feeling like you need to see or understand something more clearly in order to take the action that you need to take. There's that Pisces energy. Moon is Pisces energy. Knight of Swords. The swords are your suit, Gemini. The Pentacles, where we had those counterparts come out with Pentacles, that is Earth side energy. So that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy there. Maybe you need to be more in your Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Maybe you are dealing with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. We did have Taurus and Virgo coming out here as the first two cards. We also got Scorpio here. Now we got the Page of Coins. Interesting. And pages tend to be messengers. So perhaps this is a message, thinking about reaching out to somebody, sending them a message. Perhaps some of you are on the other end of this and you just recently received a message, or you're waiting for a message. It's like you can feel a message coming in, but it hasn't quite landed yet. Tell me more about this. There's a lot of passion here, whatever I'm feeling. We had the Ace of Wands, and we also had, like we said, the Seven of Wands. And it's definitely a fighting card in this deck. Mars, and it's Mars and Leo. All right, so that's a lot. The fire planet in a fire sign. Yeah, we got the Two of Swords. And we got the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. So definite Taurus energy coming through, whether you're a Taurus or the person that's concerned here. This is concerning as a Taurus. It's also about faith with the Hierophant card in this deck. Moon in Libra. But this is that confusion. This is like that angsty, like, it feels like desire to me. For some of you, this is like desiring somebody that you hurt in the past, or somebody who hurt you in the past is desiring you. Desiring to make up for the choices in the past. So you might have to fight for this person. This is like really feeling some type of way. Very, very angsty about this choice or decision here. Blinded by emotion, it almost feels like. We have the Magician here. There's that straight up Mercury energy. I feel like you've been working toward manifesting or creating something. And now the opportunity is there, but you have to take the action required. For some of you guys, this is what the courage was about. Needing that courage. And remember, this is a general reading, so there's messages in here for everybody. For some people, this is just fear over some choice or decision, some move that you need to make, where you're going to have to fight for something that matters to you. You're really going to have to call on your warrior spirit. And there's a fear of loss or betrayal or a history of that that's preventing you from moving forward. So like I said, take it however it resonates for. It's going to resonate in different ways for different people. Then we have the Ace of Swords and the Death card. So there's that Scorpio energy coming through heavy. And this is the clarity. This is some type of rebirth or ego death. I'm feeling ego death for somebody that provides this clarity where you see something and you recognize something that you did not see before. And it's like an opportunity to be reborn from truth or born out of truth, something like that. or something has the opportunity to have a rebirth. If this is like a relationship or some aspect of yourself, but it's like born from a more truthful place, reborn from a more truthful place. There's some truth that needs to be shared or spoken or acknowledged. And that some type of mental breakthrough that allows for this rebirthing of this energy to come through. Then we have the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So definitely for those where this is concerning love, it's definitely like a romantic gesture or something like that. But it's like, be in integrity and be truthful with your words. Be honest. There's a level of self-honesty that's being called for here. And then there's a level of honesty in communication. This honesty and straightforwardness in communication. It's like needing to speak the truth that you've been afraid to speak. But of course, speak it in a way that is loving, right? Even hard truths can be spoken gently. There's a way to do it. You know what I mean? There's a way to speak it in a way where it is more likely to be heard and received. All right, interesting reading, you all. I love you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to join the tribe, drop a comment down below. Let me know how this resonated for you. And like I said at the beginning, go ahead and like this video if you have not done so yet. If you would like a personal tarot reading, astrology reading, energy healing, any of the different things that I do, all of my information is in the description box below. I'll talk to you soon.